Yes, you read the title correctly. Those of you who have been following my channel for a long time, for them, it's not going to be a surprise. I joined SBI as a probationary officer. I was directly promoted to Scale 2 or a deputy manager. I won numerous awards while I was in SBI. I cracked the JIB and the CIB exam, the latter one with a distinction and a first class. And then I quit. I know, it might sound crazy. Maybe it is. But I have to say that when I actually entered SBI, I knew that this was not the place where I would be spending the rest of my life. I had already known that. My main goal was actually to get into RBI. But it is very public knowledge right now how spectacularly I have failed in that. When I entered SBI, I knew that I would either get into RBI or I would start something of my own. These were the only two eventualities under which I would be resigning from SBI. And that's exactly what's happened. So I can still give RBI exam, maybe in the future I will, but right now I want to do something totally different. Now it is quite fashionable to bash SBI. You will be finding all those articles on Quora and everywhere. People who resign from SBI, they will only say the negative things about SBI. But I can tell you this much, that SBI has given me a lot in life, for which I am eternally grateful to that organization. And I do not want to badmouth that organization. That is not the purpose of this video. But this video was very, very important to make because there might be people out there who are watching me who actually want to know my motivation for doing this. And I want to talk to those people. So if you are not one of those people, there is no reason for you to stick around and watch this. It is only for those who want to know why I have quit SBI. What's the reason for that thing? Let's start with vision. A vision for life. Bill Gates once said that people overestimate what they can do in 1 year and they underestimate what they can do in 10 years. Just think about it. 10 years ago, where were you? You might not even remember. 10 years is a long time, and I want to make my plan a 10-year plan, a 10-year mission, a 10-year strategy. And I want to make this video because I want to be reminded of that plan. I want to be reminded of my 10-year goal. And whenever I watch this video, I can get reminded of that 10-year goal. And that's the main purpose of making this video. I could stay on in SBI. Of course I could. It is a great organization. I could enrich myself. I could go to a higher post. I could do a lot to actually just be somebody who is settled in life, and I could also help the bank. But if I am doing this, am I limiting my vision of myself? That's what I always used to ask myself. Am I looking at the longer term, what I can give to this world, what I can give to society? Will that be possible if I stay on in my job? That's the question that sometimes we forget to ask ourselves. Can we actually do more than what we feel that we are destined to do? That's a question that always plagued me. In the next couple of years, we are going to reach the peak of our demographic dividend. This means that we will have the most number of people, the most number of young people in our workforce. What can this young workforce do? We can actually make products and services for the entire world. We can make a movement that can transform our entire country. Just think about how economies are formed, how they actually get their branding and what they are actually good at. For example, think about Germany. When you think about Germany, what comes to your mind? It comes to mind that you have precision engineering, right? Cars come to mind. All the important engineering marvels, industries, that's what comes to your mind. If you think about China, say, what comes to mind? It is a place where you can make anything. All iPhones, all kinds of computers, all kinds of mobiles, every single thing is manufactured there. So they have transformed their country by becoming a manufacturing hub. India is not at this present moment at that capacity. We cannot meet that. But what we do have is the millions and millions of youth of our country. Why can't we have a human capital transformation? Why can't we have a situation whereby the youth, the human capital, can actually become an engine of growth for the world? Can we do that? Is that something that is possible? These are the questions that I ask myself. These are the things that I always think about long term when I think about a decade-long strategy. This is something that I want to help create. I know I am just a single man. What can I do? But if I do not try even a little bit, then I will always regret that I had never tried to get into this space. I had never tried to make a change in society, to transform society for the better. I have a vision for the future. I believe that in the next 10 to 20 years, the workspace will totally change. The coronavirus pandemic has actually shown us that it is possible to work remotely for most kind of jobs. Jobs that you did not even think about could be done remotely are being done remotely today. So just think of a world in which you wake up. There are lots of projects in front of you that you can choose. You can accept this project, you can work for this project for a particular amount of time, and after this project is done, you just say to the client that this thing is delivered, you deliver it to the client, and after that you rest for many weeks. And the next time when you are ready for the next project, you go ahead and take the next project. So this is something that I have been thinking about, and it's not something that I can design overnight. It's not something that I alone can do. I need people. I need to reach out to more intelligent people who can help me build that vision. But if I do not try, if I just become limited, then I can never achieve this vision. And this is the vision that I am talking about. To be somebody who actually helps with the unemployment situation. To be somebody who actually inspires others to get into this space and then think about ways in which we can transform our Indian economy. Can't I do that? So why am I fixated on unemployment? Just consider the statistics. In 2017-18, NSSO estimated our unemployment rate at 6.1%, which was a 45-year high. According to the Center for Monitoring Indian Economy, in May 2020, India's unemployment rate touched 23.48%. It has fallen since then, but the systemic problems remain. There was a recent Ernst & Young report which was made with help from FICCI and NASSCOM, which stated 46% of the people currently working will have to overcome major challenges to stay employed in 2022. That's almost half of the workforce. So there are a lot of changes coming. 9% will be doing jobs that don't even exist today. Now let's take a look at higher education. According to the All India Survey on Higher Education brought out by the Ministry of Human Resources and Development, it states that the total graduates who passed out in 2019 were 64,74,715. Consider that this number is a round figure, like 60 lakh. So according to the unemployment rate, if 25% cannot get a job, that's about 15 lakh who are unemployed. 8.3 lakh of those 64 lakh people who have graduated are engineers. And we know from a recent report that 80% of engineers are unemployable. This is something that is a fact, and it has come out in multiple surveys. Now just think about bank jobs. The total bank jobs in a year, it ranges from around 30,000 to 60,000. Let's say it is 50,000. So out of the 15 lakh unemployed, there are only 50,000 bank jobs. I know here in this channel, that's what I focus on. But even my best efforts cannot put a dent in the unemployment rate because it's only so few people who are going to get these jobs. The total bankers are 13.8 lakh as of 2019. So how many people can actually choose banking? There are more people who are unemployed per year than the total bankers we have right now in our economy. So not everybody can have a bank job. This is the future, my friends. A future that will belong to people who will learn to adapt and unlearn and grow. Because otherwise we cannot exist in this workplace. It's just not feasible. Now there are a lot of things that I am involved with, but I cannot right now talk to you about that, because I do not feel qualified to discuss those things on this channel at the present moment, but maybe I will in the future. The only thing that I want to say is that you might have a situation where each and every single one of you told you to be in a box. That is what happened with me. Everybody told me that you have to stay inside this box that we have designed. But there is a vast world out of that. There is a place where you can go, where you can find things that you have never even thought of, things that you did not think existed. And that is the focus for me right now. Just to find out what is it outside that box in which I feel trapped. So what's my future plan? Well, before I was in SBI, I used to run a digital marketing company. That's something that I actually started, and I'll be continuing with that. And I've also started a small financial services firm, which actually helps small businesses and small entrepreneurs, because I believe that entrepreneurs are going to be the future of this country. And these are the things that I'm involved with now. And of course, I will be focusing on my YouTube channel. I will be focused on helping you to get jobs and to secure your future. That's what I want to help through this channel, and I'll continue teaching you for bank exams on all the other things that I have been talking about. So these are the things that I am going to do in the future, and those are going to be my focus areas. Just one thing I want to state is that a lot of big name people have reached out to me, big name companies that you are going to be familiar with. I cannot take their names, but I have not accepted their offer, and it's for obvious reasons. For me, it might not be obvious for them, but what I believe is, अगर कुछ बड़ा करना है तो छोटे कुछ काम छोड़ने पड़ते हैं. That's something that I believe in life. If you want to aim for something higher, then small things you have to actually relinquish, and only then you can move forward. Now, some of you watching this might actually be planning to quit your jobs. So if you are planning that, let me tell you that it's going to be the hardest decision of your life. Your friends are going to be against you. Your family is going to be against you. Your loved ones are going to be against you. Everybody is going to become an enemy of you. But you have to just stop those thoughts from entering you, and you have to have your plan. So before you quit, make sure that you have a plan A, a plan B, a plan C. So lot of plans, make them, and only then you quit. When you have all those things in place, otherwise society is not going to let you live easy. That much I can assure you. And I actually want to tell you something else regarding time. Let's take a look at life. Maths is love, remember? So let's use maths. Assume that you are a 25-year-old. So how long are you supposed to live? Your average life expectancy, if we look at that, in India, it is around 69 to 70 years. But let's take a round number. Let's consider that you are going to live till 85. If you are educated, if you have access to good health, then it is possible to live till 85 unless you have some kind of terminal illness. So let's put that aside. Let's think of the dream world, 85. So you have 60 years left. But you sleep 8 hours per day. So if 1/3 of the day is gone in sleeping, then 20 years are gone. So 60 minus 20, you have 40 years remaining. Now 12 hours per day, you are either at work or you are commuting. So if you have Saturdays and Sundays off and your work plus commute, it will actually account for 60 hours per week. So spread that over for a week and account for holidays minus a little bit. So you have roughly 8 hours per day that are gone. So that's another 8 hours a day. So another 1/3 of the day, that is another 20 years gone. You are left with 20 years. In this time, you will have to do all your personal work. You have to eat, you have to raise kids, you have to give time to other people in your life and other important things that life demands from you. 50% of the time is gone by these kinds of activities, and you are left with only 10 years. 10 years, that's the time you have to work on your dreams. And I assume that your dream is not just to only crack bank exams and be there forever in your life. I assume you have bigger dreams. Most of you certainly do. And this is a little bit aggressive calculation, but it tells you how little time you have to get forward and reach for those dreams that you always had. So why am I telling you all these things? It's because life is precious. It's because time is precious and we don't have forever on this earth. Yes, right now you and I are young. We are in our 20s and this is the moment in our lives when we have to think of the future. What do we want to make of ourselves? Where do we want to see ourselves? Where are we actually going? Each and every day we are taking a step towards that future self that we want to create. Is that the right step? Is that future self something that you are going to be proud of? These are the questions that I often ask, and these are the questions that some of you might also be asking, and that is why I wanted to make this video as a reminder for our 10-year strategy, our 10-year commitment to our life. This is the message that I wanted to propagate, and I know that this is not for everybody, but if there is somebody out there who needed to hear these things, like me, I needed to hear this thing, and that is why I made this video for myself. My 10-year strategy. Think about it. Take risks. Find out what you are capable of. And never ever be afraid to dream big. Your dreams should be scaring you. Otherwise, what's the point of dreaming? What's your 10-year strategy?